ఇప్పుడు బానే ఉందా? Unmute yourself. You're muted.
Correct.
సో అక్కడ టైమింగ్స్ ఎప్పుడు స్వామీజీ సాయంత్రం ఈవినింగ్ లెక్చర్స్?
And that goes on up to 28th, I think.
No. Timings in the evening.
Evening.
Timings in the
timing, I think 6:30 to 7:30 or so. 6:30 to maybe 8 o'clock.
So by the time you finish, they also finish and come.
Yeah, by the time they come, I would have finished my dinner.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, today I will chant 30 verses. You chant the next 30.
Okay.
Go up to 60. Sarana?
Saranana. You can start now.
That is one. You can collect the opinion of the sadhakas. After we are through with the 18th chapter, in the 18th chapter PDF, there are some important paragraphs which are as per Shankaracharya's Bhashyam. I thought I'll read it out for the sake of clarity of the Atma Jnanam. Okay? And that may take about, maybe it will be covering about 400 pages.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what? In the 18th chapter, the last Charama Sloka, Sarvadharman Parichajya, that as Swamiji has covered, not as Shankaracharya has covered in the Sanskrit Bhashya, as Swamiji has covered, it has occupied 150, 250, 280 pages.
Okay.
Together with that, there are other chapters on which Shankaracharya's Bhashya is very relevant. It will give us a lot of clarity on what we have already acquired.
No problem.
You find out the pulse of people. If they're keen on this, I'll skip that.
They're keen on what?
On my reading from the PDF. Not PDF, from the book, textbook. I got the textbook.
Okay, I think everyone should be okay with that. I will ask anyway.
And your PDF, it contains all the pages?
Nen check cheyali, because what I have has, I think, 200 odd pages or so.
Okay. Okay, no matter.
In fact, yesterday, based on Dr. Mara's suggestion, we actually started reading the PDF meaning of 46.
Very good. Okay.
Hari Om. Actually, I really wanted to learn from Swamiji Adi Shankara directly, I mean, you brought it up, I've been thinking about it because I don't know Sanskrit, how I'm going to get that. So it'd been really nice if you, I mean, of course, we get all the opinion from other people, but I really for it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I thought I will do, Brahmara, in the text, there are the Sampradaya aspect, that is one, and the Pratipaksha aspect is another. I will skip the Pratipaksha aspect and concentrate only on the Vedanta aspect.
Fine.
That way I can reduce the number of pages.
No, but it's fine. We'll go with whatever it is given there, Nana, so that in case the Pratipaksha, that thing comes in our own mind, we will be able to get back to what the truth is.
No, the Okay. I'll see what can be done.
Yeah.
Right?
Time
Right.
is not a factor. We'll do that.
Okay.
It's done, Nana.
Hariom Nana.
Hari Om Talli. Hey, do I start?
Oh, yes, you can start.
Yeah, okay. Om. 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 ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. I'll start on the first sloka. Adha Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Adha Ashtadashodhyayah Moksha Sannyasa Yogaha Mokshasya Sannyasa Yogaha Mokshaya Sannyasa Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvamicchami Veditum Chagasya cha Hrishikesha Prudhakeshi Nishudana. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahutyagam Vichekshanaha Chadyam Doshavadityeke Karma Prahurmanishinaha Yajnadana Tapak Karma Nachadyamiti Chapare Nishchayam Shunu Me Tatra Tyage Bharata Sattama Tyago Hi Purusha Vyagra Trividha Samprakirtitaha Yajnadana Tapak Karma Natyadyam Karyameva Tat Yajnyodanam Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishinam Etanyapitu Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Phalani Cha Kartavyani Time Padha Nishchitam Matamuttamam Niyatasya tu Sannyasaha Karmano Nopapajyate Mohatasya Parityagaha Tamasa Parikirtitaha Dukkhamityeva Yat Karma Kaya Klesha Bhayatyajat Sakrutva Rajasam Tyagam Naiva Tyaga Phalam Labhet Karyamityeva Yat Karma Niyatam Kriyate Arjuna Sangam Tyaktva Phalam Chaiva Satyaga Satviko Mataha Nadveshya Kushalam Karma Kushalena Anushajyate Tyagi Sattva Samavishtaha Medhavi Chinna Samshaya Nahi Deha Bhruta Shekyam Chektum Karmanya Sheshataha Yestu Karma Phalatyagi Satyagi Cha Vidhiyate अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधः कर्मणः फलम् भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित् पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम् अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग्विधम् विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम् शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः यस्य नाहं कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविध कर्म संग्रहः ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने यथा वच्छृणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम् पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम् यत्तु कृष्णवदे कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अपलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनवेक्ष्य च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते मुक्तसङ्गो अनहंवादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुः लुब्धो हिंसात्मको अशुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः अयुक्तः प्राकृतस्तब्धः शठः नैष्कृतिकः अलसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतत्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी टेक ओवर ब्रह्मराज
यया धर्ममधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी धृत्या यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियः क्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसंगेन फलाकांक्षिः धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभा अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमं तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम् विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् तत्तदग्रे मृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम् यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्या प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविशां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः शमोदमस्तपः शौचं क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्मकर्म स्वभावजम् शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनं दानमीश्वरभावश्च क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम् कृषिगौरक्ष्य वाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजं परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजं स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्मा तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लब्ध्वासि यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम् सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो Mavyapashrayah Matprasadadavapnoti Shashwatam Padamavyayam Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sanyasya Matparaha Buddhi Yogamupashritya Machittas Satatam Bhava Machittas Sarvadurgani Matprasadat Tarishyasi Atha Chettvamahankarat Nashrosyasi Vinakshati Nashosyasi Vinakshasi Yadahankaramashritya Nayotsya iti manyase Mithyaisha Vyavasayaste Prakritistvam Niyokshati Svabhavajena Kaunteya Nibaddhasvena Karmana Kartum Nechasi Yanmohat Karishyasya Vashopi Tat.
Good, thank you. Can you go to 46th verse?
There was a question that
I was about to ask.
Yeah, that
You
is about
mentioned that. Yeah.
like we have 4 varnas and 4 ashramas.
Mhm.
So in the 4 varnas, they also go through the 4 ashramas, isn't it? The brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So what do like the brahmanas, kshatriyas, vaishyas, and sudras? Do they also the same brahmacharya? What do they learn during the brahmacharya time? Like the brahman?
Actually, no. These ashramas are relevant, I believe, for the first 3 varnas.
Mhm.
For the Shudra varna, the brahmacharya. Brahmacharya begins with what?
Study of the
Study in the Gurukula.
in the Gurukula.
That start point is there. If the start point is not there, then the 4th varna, Shudra, is not qualified for the brahmacharya. Grihastha, he is certainly. But vanaprastha and sannyasa, he is not qualified for those. He has to exhaust his prarabdha karma by proper means. Paricharyatmakam karma shodrasyapi swabhavajam. Like I said, nanopadhivashadeva jati varnashramadayah atmanyaropitasto ye rasavarnadi bhedavat. Knowing that very nicely, very, very comprehensively, one should not worry too much about the varnas. Neither should you worry about the ashramas. What is required is these varnas and ashramas are related to the Jagat. Yavat satyam jagat bhati shuktika rajatam yadha tavanna jnayate brahma sarva adhishtanam advayam. And no matter what varna, what ashrama you pertain to, you belong to, what is required is Atmajnana Samupajana. You will have to know that Tattvamasi Mahavakya, the essence of that you have to actually recognize. When such is the case, all other questions will fall flat.
The question, the question came because this Vakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. Now that we are learning this, we are able to, we have an opportunity to apply this in our life. But
correct.
The varnas that do not, the people who do not get this knowledge, how are they going to apply this? That is the question. So unless they have this base knowledge.
Why will they not get this knowledge?
Unless they study.
Okay, they see, study is of several kinds. Study Svadhyaya yourself and Shravanam. When some Mahatma is talking about Atma Jnanam, Shravanam, that is another kind of study. That is not forbidden to anybody. Actually, Shravana Manana Nidijasana, these are the ordained facets of Atma Jnana Samupadyana. Shravanam, that is Upanishad Vakya Shravanam. Mananam, Mananam is Brahma Sutras. Those Mananam to get rid of Samshaya Nivrutti. Then Nitidhyasanam, take up the Gita. For what? For getting rid of your Viparita Bhavana and your unknown obstacles to progress. Pratibandhakas. For you to root yourself with the Nischala Tattvam, with the Manaha, which is constantly on Brahmanishta. For that, you take to the Gita. Anyway, we are going to cover the text in quite a few parts of the 18th chapter. All your doubts will be cleared by listening to those. Only thing is, you must listen with some openness of mind. You must listen without any the preconceived notions. If those are there, they become the pratibandhakas. We'll go there.
Yeah. There was one more question. Thank you, Nana. There's one more question Dr. Renu has asked. She said, regarding taking a bath, is it important that we take a bath before joining the class? Taking snanam is one of the nitya karmas that is mentioned in the Shastras, right? So before joining the class, is it important to take a bath?
I will put it this way. You are taking a bath every day, I suppose. Okay?
Yes, of course. Sometimes twice.
Okay. What I'm saying is, supposing, take my case. We are having the class from Phoenix time, evening 7 to 8. This is evening 7 to 8. In Bahrain and India, it is quite early. In Bahrain, it is about 5 to 6, is it, Brahmara?
Yes, no.
And in
5
Kuwait,
to
both
6.
Dr. Renu
So,
also has the same time.
Yeah, 5 to 6. And in Kuwait also, it may be the same thing for Dr. Renu. And in India,
Yes.
it may be, instead of 5 to 6, it may be maybe 7:30 to 8:30, so on. So what I'm saying is, if you people are having the class in the morning, you're certainly very likely to have your bath in the morning. Whereas in my case, I take bath in the morning, and in the evening I don't take bath. So the bath I have taken in the morning, that is kind of taught by me, okay, ignorantly or otherwise, that it is a sustaining bath for the evening Gita Dhyanam, Gita class. Okay.
But her question is in the morning when we wake up, coming for the class. Is it important to
What
take
I am
a
saying is, no matter whether you are internally, externally pure or not, as long as you have the bhavana of the Lord. Bhavana of the Lord. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham. Pundarikaksha is what? Bhagavan Krishna. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabahya Abhyantara Shuchihi. Apavitro Pavitro Va. Apavitro Pavitro Va. Whether you are pure or not. Apavitro, pavitro va, whether you are pure or otherwise, body-wise. Okay? Otherwise means body. Sarva avasthangato piva, no matter in what pursuit of life you are. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham, who always thinks of Pundarikaksha. Saha, that fellow, Bahya Abhyantara Shuchihi. He is externally and internally considered to be pure Eva. Okay? That answers Dr. Renu?
Yes, Nana. This
Okay.
sloka is this one. This sloka.
Okay.
Thank you, Nana.
Oh, thank you. Brahmara, did
Yes,
I
Nana.
miss anything Dr. Renu said?
No, she just wanted to know where the shloka is from. Which shloka it is.
This what I read, it is part of the Sandhya Vandanam. Apavitro, pavitro va, sarva avasthangato va. Sarva avasthangato va. You may be in the bathroom. You may be in the bathroom, not yet taking bath. That is one avastha. Yasmaret pundarikaksham, whoever has the smarana of Kitaya, sabahya abhyantara shuchi, he is considered pure internally and externally. That is what, see, all these put together, what is important is not so much the action, but the attitude backing the action. The attitude, bhava, that is bhava is important. In the Annamaya Kirtanas, there is one Kirtana, Bhavamulona Bhahyamanandano, Govinda Govinda ani Koluvabe Manasa. A mind, you keep on doing worship of Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. And Bhavamulona Bhahyamanandano, internally in your mind, as well as externally by walk. By walk means by speech. Bhavamulona Bhahyamanandano, Govinda Govinda ni Koluvave Manasa. Hey mind, don't be otherwise occupied with useless pursuits. Govinda Govinda ni Koluvave Manasa. Same thing we have picked up in Bhaju Govindam, isn't it? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, dukrun karane nahi nahi rakshate. Dukrun karane is not just limited to the Vyakarana Sutras, getting those by heart. All other external laukika pursuits, the secular pursuits, are considered dukrun karane. Those dukrun karane nahi nahi rakshate. Okay.
Dr. Zanda, are you recording or this is just live?
It is live on YouTube. It's getting recorded on the YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Nana.
Oh, thank you. Now, can I get back to the verse?
Yes, Nana.
Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. This we have covered adequately. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. Yesterday I was quoting from Ramayana as to what King Janaka has said to Sri Rama at the time of wedding of Sita and Rama. What it says is, I could not get the Sanskrit text. I went on thinking about it, I could get it. Iyam Sita, this Sita, Mama Sutta, my daughter. Tava, Chaya Miva. Tava means you. Chaya Miva, your shadow like. As though like your shadow. Tava, Chayam Iva. Anucharani will always be following you. That is what Mother Sita quoted to Rama. How can you say you will go alone without me? You and Janaka said, Panigrahanam Purushva, he said. you hold the hand of my daughter Sita, symbolic of marriage. That is Panigrahanam, which Rama complied with. That means what? He has accepted that Mother Sita will be always following him wherever he goes, like his own shadow. Can you get rid of your shadow? So Mother Sita said, you can't go without me. You will have to go with me. The point to be considered is not only this point, Mother Sita, what a noble character. She did not get annoyed with Dasharatha. She did not get annoyed with Kaikeyi. Neither she got any annoying feelings towards Rama. Why is it? How can this kind of a thing happen? Just 2 hours back, you have been asked to get ready for tomorrow's coronation. How can the king change like this? Why didn't you protest? None of these. Swakarmana tamabhyatya siddhim vindati manavaha. She, that chaya iva anucharani, that she conformed to completely. Like Bhagavan Rama has conformed to that Pitruvakya Paripalana. Though he did not hear it from his father, through his mother he has come to know, and that was good enough for him. That is the Swakarmana Tamabhyatya. As a son, then what is the Swakarma? Pitruvakya Paripalana eva. Swakarmana Tamabhyatya. Tam is what? Tam yataha pravritti bhutanam. From where this creation has come about. Yena sarvamidam tatam. With what? Based on what? With what cause all this is pervaded? That tam abhyatya siddhim vindati manavaha. Doing pujanam of that power. How do you do pujanam? Swakarmana tamabhyatya. The karma ordained for you by the Shastra, by the Gita, tamabhyatya, conforming to that diktat. Tamabhyatya siddhim vindati manavaha. Siddhim is what? Antakarana shuddhim vindati manavaha. Then next verse is available, part of it in the 3rd chapter. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swabhavaniyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. In the 3rd chapter, the first line is the same. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavaha. That is what Kitaya said in the 3rd chapter. Now he has slightly modified the 2nd line. Swabhavaniyatam karma kurvan na apnoti kilbisham. Swabhavaniyatam. What is the swabhava based on the birth? Niyatam karma. Like it was mentioned. Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. Swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. That verse we have covered. And what are the duties? For Brahmana, duty was laid down. Kshatriya laid down. For Vaishya, Shudra, those karmas were laid down. There are 3 separate verses for that. Shamo damas tapasyocham kshantirajyavamevacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. For Brahmana, that is the karma. That is the Shastra Vihita karma. Gita Shastra Vihita karma also. This is Veda Vihita karma and Gita Shastra Vihita karma. And they would not have ordained these karmas based on your swabhava, just like that. It was for your benefit. Shauryam tejo dhritit daksham yuddhe chapi apalayanam danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavajam. Such like Krishi Gauraksha Vanijyam Vaishya karma swabhavajam paricharyatmakam karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. These are mentioned very, very clearly. And all these are mentioned based on the Swabhava, your innate tendency, based on the guna with which you are born. The preponderance of what guna is in you when you are born, that continues. Based on that, these karmas have been ordained. That is what is mentioned here. Swabhavaniyatam karma kurvan, that karma kurvan, by doing that, na apnoti kilbisham. You will not attain to kilbisham is papa. You will not be faulted at all. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. Even though what you need to do based on your swabhavaniyatam, that even though it is as though looking like meritless, paradharmatsu anushtitat, compared to others' dharma, others' karma. Dharma means karma. No dharma can be accomplished without karma. You are required to have the karma which is in alignment with the dharma. That is how dharma is protected. So paradharmatsu anushtitat, compared to the parakarma, paradharma is parakarma. Parakarma anushtitat, very well done. Others karma, compared to that, this is better. What you need to do is better. Like we were in the third chapter, I think I have mentioned, if you are traveling in a car and you were as though jealous of the driver of the car, how he is nicely enjoying, etc. I'm sitting in the back seat. There are a lot of people in the back seat. The driver is alone in the front seat, and there is a lot of room there. How I wish I drive. And when the next stop comes for something, the driver has stopped. You have gone behind the wheel and started driving. You don't know anything of it. You don't know the technique of driving at all. You have never driven a car. Supposing you undertake to drive the car, what happens? Paradharmatsu anushtitat. In the third chapter, what is mentioned? Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. Even in the discharge of your own duty, even death is to be preferred. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Like you were getting into the driver's seat. Bhayavaha. You started the car all right. It is going all right. Now you don't know where is the brake and which is the accelerator. By mistake, instead of braking, you press your foot on the accelerator. Finished. Not only you, the other occupants are also finished. We have covered this during the third chapter days. Here, swabhavaniyatam karma kurvan na apnoti kilbisham. Next verse. Sahajam karma konteya sadoshamapi nachyajet sarvaram hidoshena dhumena agnirivavritaha. This is the second time Ketaya has given this example. Dhumena agnirivavritaha. Again, in the third chapter, this dhumena agnirivavritaha is mentioned. It is mentioned in a slightly different style. Dhumena vriyate vannihi yadhadarsho malena cha yadholbena vrito garbha tada tena idam avrutam. When he was covering that kama yesha, krodha yesha, Arjuna asked a question, if you recollect. Hey Krishna, Adha, then tell me, Adha kena prayuktoyam, propelled by what? Adha kena prayuktoyam, papam charati purushaha. This person will indulge in some papa karma. Propelled by what? Anichannapi varshneya baladivaniyoyitaha. As though he has been compelled into doing the papa karma, even though he did not have a desire to do papa karma, propelled by what? He was baladivanyojitaha. Very forcefully he is employed in doing the papa karma. Kena prayuktoyam. That was the question. And Bhagavan's answer was what? Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhavaha, maha ashanaha, Mahapatma Vidhiyenam Ihavairinam. In this world, this is the enemy for everybody. Which one? Kama. And unfulfilled kama results in krodha. And these two are Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Maha Ashanaha. This is a great devourer. And what does it devour? It devours the mind. It devours the mind. Even the mind which is very well developed. Shama, Damadi, Sampannaha mind, that also is nicely hijacked. Baladivaniyogjitaha. And continuing, Bhagavan said, Dhumena avriyate vannihi. That's what he said. Avriyate vannihi, covered by dhuma. That is dhuma is smoke. Vannihi, he has said. Here Agnihi is said. Dhumena agnirivavrutaha. Avrutaha is covered, kind of. Okay? Dhumena. Dhumena is the same smoke. Agni. There he said, Vannihi. Agnihi. Ivavrutaha. There it is said, for same feeling, some other word was used. This is second time in the entire Gita. This Dhuma, Agni example is given. This is for us to understand. It is very easy to get rid of this Dhuma. You simply fan it away and it goes away. And then the fire in its all effulgence will be burning nicely with huge big flames. That is so easy to get rid of that. Sarva arambha hi doshena dhumena agnirivavrutaha. Sarva arambha means all kinds of activities begin with. Sarva arambha means activity. Any activity has to be begun. That arambha is beginning. Beginning of what? Any karma. He indeed, doshena, with some kind of a fault. Dhumena agnirivavrutaha. Like the smoke covers Agni, all these activities are covered by dosha. And what is that dosha? Supposing you have taken up a noble act, and that noble act you have done very nobly, very nicely, and that gives you what? Punyam. That is a dosha or no? For your traverse towards Atma Jnana, is it not an obstacle? That punya? Supposing you have undertaken some karma which is not noble at all and which is avoidable, like the Shastra, Nishiddha karma you have undertaken. What Shastra told you not to do, you have undertaken to do that. When you have done that, that means what? Papam apnoti. You will attain to papam, sin, and that sin binds you. This punyam binds you, the sin also binds you. Punyam may take you to heaven, papam may take you to hell, but they will not take you to Atmajnanam at all. Sarvarambha hi doshena dhumena agnirivavrutaha tasmat karanat sahajam kaunteya. Sahajam. Saha means together with you. When you are born, sahajam is you are born with that. With that what? With that karma. And how are you born with that karma? As a baby, how do you know? Because that is a pursuit you have in your mind. That kind of a swabhava you have acquired because of the Purvajanma samskara. And that is with you, with which you have taken birth. That is the meaning of sahajam. Sahajam. Jai is what? Jai is indicative of birth. Saha means together with. Together with who? You. Together with you, that is also born. Which the karma you need to do. Sahajam karma kaunteya. Hey kaunteya. Sadosham api natyajet. Even though it has defect in it, natyajet. You shall not give up. You shall not give up. Sarvarambha hidoshena dhumena agnirivavrutaha. Simply because this is likely to be defective, the karma you are required to do, don't give it up. Don't give it up. Take for instance Kitaya. He was asked by Arjuna to be Arjuna's charioteer, which Kitaya agreed to. And during the 18 days of the Mahabharata war, the one who had the least hours of sleep in the night was Kitaya. You know why? Other charioteers also, other Saradhis also may have done the same work, but his involvement in the work he was doing was total, absolutely total. After the evening, when Bhishmacharya for the first 10 days, he has blown the conch, signaling the end of fight for that evening, because sun has already set. Those were the first 10 days. Afterwards, things went haywire. Okay, first 10 days, as long as Bhishmacharya was the commander-in-chief of the Kaurava forces, and he was venerated by the Pandava forces also. And before the war started, Bhishmacharya said, I will blow the conch at the beginning of the war and blow the conch again, signaling the end of the war for that day, and no more fighting then. Everybody agreed. And he also said, people are welcome to come from one camp to the other, meet their friends and relatives, and do some kind of a bhashanam. Nothing is forbidden. They can do that at night. These are the norms laid down by Bhishmacharya. So after that, when Bhishmacharya has blown the conch the first day, at the end of the first days, when the sun was setting, everybody has gone to their tents and they had a bath and nicely they were refreshed. They had nice dinner and slept off snoring. Kitaya, what he did, he had to ensure that the 5 horses of Arjuna's chariot are treated for the wounds that they have received from the enemy arrows. And Kitaya, being a great Vaidya, in the Vishnu Sahasranamam, Bhagavan is what? Vedyo Vaidya Sada Yogi, etc. is mentioned. He is the Vaidya also, he is the doctor also. He tended to the wounds of the horses and gave them bath nicely, comforted them and gave them fodder. And afterwards only he went to his tent and had his bath. And he was the first one to get up, to get ready the horses and what do you call that? Attach them to the chariot. What do you call that? Not anchor. Something.
Yoke
Okay.
them.
Yoke, correct. Yoke them to the chariot and ensure that the chariot will have all kinds of astras and shastras and things like that. Arjuna may have the Akshaya Thoniram, but the Akshaya Thoniram does not contain swords of different kinds, does not contain different bows, does not contain the maces, does not contain the spears and things like that. All those things he had to arrange. And this he has done with tremendous involvement. And Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmatsu Anushtitat Swabhavaniyatam Karma Kurvanna Apnoti Kilbisham, we have seen in the 47th verse. And there he fully confirmed. See, Kitaya not only said what he said, he has fully lived what he said. That is what is called Arjavam. It is aligning your thought with your talk and aligning your talk with your action. Arjam. Manasa vacha karmana ekam eva kuru. The only one thing you do. Don't think something, say something else, depending on the circumstances and your audience being different, you say something different. And then finally you do a third thing which is quite different from the first two. That is no argument. That is being very, very inimical to yourself. There's no progress for you. You are hindering your own progress, you don't know. Unwittingly, you are digging your own grave. Sarva ramba hidoshena dhumena agnirivavrutaha. Okay? The karma that is natural according to your birth, O Arjuna, though defective, one should not give up, because all undertakings are covered with fault, like fire with smoke. And coming back to Kittaya, it's not a joke to be a charioteer. And all the enemy arrows will first visit the charioteer and then go to the Asami in the chariot like Arjuna. They will have to be taken care by the charioteer first. The severity of the arrow, when it meets the charioteer, it will be much higher than when the same arrow meets a person like Arjuna seated inside the chariot. Because there is a distance separating, some 2-3 feet distance separating, and the momentum of that arrow will be the greatest when it strikes the charioteer first. All those hazards Kittaya had to put up with. Sadosham api na tyajet. He has agreed to be the charioteer, and he fully acquitted himself as a very great charioteer. Sadosham api na tyajet. Sarvaramba hi doshena dhumena agni rivavrutaha. Next verse, please. Asakta buddhi sarvatra. Jitatma vijitendriyaha, vigatendriyaha, isn't it? No. Sarvat jitatma vigata spruha. Yeah. Vigata spruha, correct. Vigata spruha. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigachyati. You will gain that Naishkarmya siddhi. Naishkarmya siddhi means, what is Naishkarmya siddhi?
Moksha.
No karma at all. I am not doing any karma. Iti, for you to claim, that kind of a claim you can have. Naishkarmya siddhim. There is some disturbance going on.
No, I muted them. Yeah. You can go on, Nana.
Yeah. Asakta buddhi sarvatra. At all times, asakta buddhi. Asakta buddhi is what? The mind which is getting attached to something or the other. That attachment is saktaha, asaktaha, detachment. And how do you get this detachment? There are 2 ways of getting rid of this attachment. One is, attachment per se is not bad, but as long as it is limited to small things and small beings. If you can enlarge that, like you are attached to your spouse, you are attached to your children, you are attached to your parents. Supposing this attachment you immensely enlarge, and enlarge what? You get attached to everybody in life. Everybody you can think of, everybody you can come across, and you get attached. As well as you are attached to your spouse, your children, your parents, you are attached to everything else in the world. That kind of an attachment is love. Otherwise, it is a narrow path for that beautiful word love. You do not really love your spouse because the spouse gives you happiness. Spouse gives you happiness, you tend to love the spouse. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Then you have the bhavana that everything in this world is giving you happiness, and you get attached to that everything. You start loving that everything. So this attachment will get transferred into universal love. Universal attachment is universal love. You need not worry about detaching yourself. You enlarge the scope of attachment. Universal attachment. You are attached to everything. Okay? But one thing, one point to be understood. This attachment, when it is unfulfilled, you will be hurt. You must go beyond that. This universal attachment, no matter what happens, you love thy neighbor and the neighbor does not know. He still keeps on hating you. Don't you get worried. He is like that because of his disposition. Sahajam karma kaunteya. He is born with those kind of attitudes only. Sympathize with him. If you can have that, you will not get hurt. Asakta buddhi sarvatra, at all times, at all places, sarvatra. Jitatma. Jitatma is you have got the mastery of the mind, sense organs, organs of action, etc. All these combined, put together. Shamodamas tapashaucham was mentioned, no? For the Brahmana, all those put together. Jitatma, vigata spruhaha. Vigata spruhaha, without any longing. And what do you long? What you don't have, you long. What is it you don't have? I say you are born with beautiful attitudes in life and you are listening to Gita Vakyas. Is that not a wonderful opportunity for you? Are you not blessed already? Are you not blessed already? One moment, Brahmara.
Yes,
I'll just take a minute. There is
No problem.
somebody who
Came home. No problem.
Brahmaraji,
Yes, Sureshji.
that you told no the Shudra, how we can reach without knowledge.
Mm.
The bhakti, you know.
Huh?
Bhakti.
Mm.
He need not get, need not read or anything, but if he has bhakti to God, he gets knowledge automatically. That was, many Shudras have done that way. You know? I think I am clear.
Yeah.
Hariom, they could do it because they continued doing whatever activities, the Swadharma, along with bhakti and devotion. That cobbler's sage, you know, that who attained Bhagirathi in his own.
Hari Om. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem.
You know, some items Kishore ordered, they have been delivered. That's all. From that Walmart, somebody came by a car and delivered those items. So, asakta buddhi sarvatra. Jitatma vigata spruhaha. So, where is your craving? You got everything for you. You are born with beautiful limbs. All limbs are properly working, everything in its place. And you got the sense organs, and the faculty of sense organs is really wonderful. You got a mind which can think. You got an intellect which can decide. And you know you are wedded to Gita Shastra Jayana. All these are not wonderful for you. What else do you want? Why do you have to have some craving at all? Vigata spruhaha. If you can keep on thinking like this, you will automatically drop all kinds of craving. Vigata spruhaha. Naishkarnya siddhim paramam, the supreme Naishkarnya siddhi, absolute actionlessness. Sannyasena adhigacchati. Sannyasena, by renunciation, you will attain to that. Adhigacchati means you will attain to that. What does it say here? Adhigacchati, gains. You will gain that. Naishkarmya siddhim, the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam, most exalted. And how do you gain that most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness? Is it by not doing anything at all?
No.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma kriti. Karyate hyapatya karma sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi. Third chapter, Pitaya said that.
Inaction.
Huh?
Action in inaction and inaction in action.
That is in the fourth chapter. I am talking at the third chapter. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi, not even for a second. Jatu tishtati akarma kriti. Nobody can ever be actionless. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi. When such is the case, how can you accomplish this naishkarmya siddhim paramam? How can you gain this? It is by jnanena. It is by atma jnanena. What kind of atma jnana? You must recognize firmly that atma neither does nor makes any else do. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit pashyan shrunvan sprushan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shvasan pralapan vishrujan grunhan unmishan nimishan napi indriyani indriyadeshu vartanta parantu aham na kinchit karomi iti tattvavit manyeta. In the fifth chapter we have learnt this. That with the Atma Jnana, with the realization, with the recognition that Atma does not do anything. There is no Kartrutva Bhavana. There is neither Bhoktritva Bhavana in Atma, but that is a Sarvasakshi. In its presence, everything else happens. Like Bhagavan said, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Anena hetuna jagad viparivartate. Maya adhyakshena, by my presidency, everything happens. Atma can say that. If you are able to listen, it is because of my presidency. If you are able to understand, it is because of my presidency. If you are able to enjoy the food you are eating, it is because of my presidency. If you are suffering for no fault of the events that have overtaken you, it is because of my presidency and your ignorance. All this, that Atma Jnana, that will be realization that Atma does not do anything. Then, even though you are amidst intense activity, like Kittaya was during the Mahabharata war, he was amidst intense activity, but he has not done anything. Aham na kinchit karomi iti tattvavitu manyeta. The one whose mind is free from attachment everywhere, who has self-mastery and from whom longing has gone, gains the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness by renunciation. By renunciation and by Atma Jnana. That I think we'll stop it here. I've taken 10 extra minutes. Any questions we will attend to tomorrow. 50th verse, etc. Yeah, these are all very profound verses. Though the essence of these verses has been covered earlier, it is being reiterated for emphasis and in a slightly different way, like the Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmatsu Anushtitat Swabhavaniyatam Karma Kurvanna Apnoti Kilbisham, as against what occurred in the third chapter. Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. That was mentioned in the third chapter. It's the same verse, first line being identical, second line is slightly altered. That kind of a verse is there towards the end of the Gita also. There is a verse in the 9th chapter. Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mam me vaishyasi yuktvaimam atmanam matparayanaha. That is the Charama sloka of the 9th chapter. The last sloka of the 9th chapter. Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru, etc. In the 18th chapter, I think it is the 65th verse. Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Second line is slightly altered. Okay? But the essence is the same as was mentioned in the 9th chapter, like it is here. As is mentioned in the 3rd chapter, the essence is the same. It is reiterated in a slightly different way and for clearing any of our samshayas. Even though we had listened to Kitaya for this past some 16 chapters, first chapter being Arjuna's and Sanjaya's. For 16 chapters, his Prabodha we have listened, but we have some samshayas. That samshaya nivritti, that eva is Kitaya's pursuit. He is keen on our getting rid of all kinds of samshayas. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyasena adhigachyati. So if we have to attain to that naishkarmya siddhi, parama naishkarmya siddhi, what are we to do? We have to recognize our nature, true nature. What is our true nature? Satyam jnanam anantam atma. Satyam jnanam anantam atma. Satchitananda swarupaha atma eva. That recognition. Whether you recognize or not, Shastra says you are that. As it is, you fellow, you are an ajnani, but you are still that Satchitananda swarupaha. You have not known, you've forgotten. You recognize that. That's all you need to do. That is where the Shastra helps you. Take the help of the Shastra and go forward. Go forward. We'll see. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. For the next week or so, I may, make use of some extra time of your manana time. Please pardon me for that. Unwittingly, I may do that. Please bear with me.
No problem.
Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om, Dhanyavad Nanaji.
Thank you, Nana.
Dhanyavad.